Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is Wednesday, the 6th of April. And there is a reason I know that date is today, and I'll tell you why that is in a minute. But it's Annie Bennett here. Here I am. It's Annie Bennett coming to you from one of three places. I'm either in the Home Baking Business Community UK Facebook group, or you're a member of my lovely society, the Home Baking Professional Society, or you're watching me on my Facebook page, Annie Bennett Business. So wherever you are watching me this evening, hello and welcome. If you are watching, it doesn't say anyone's watching yet, but I'm fingers crossed you will. If you come on, do say hello, do drop a comment in and do some likes and things, because if you do that, if you do the hearts and likes and things, then Facebook tells other people that I'm here. Facebook's been a bit weird with its algorithms lately. It's been a bit reluctant to tell people things. I know lots of people in lots of different groups and different pages who have found it really difficult to engage with people over the past couple of weeks. I don't quite know why. But it's because Facebook just won't show anything to anybody. It sort of shows lots of adverts and things, but not the kind of things that you really want. But anyway, so here we are this evening. If you are watching, where's my gizmo? Hang on. I need to put my glasses on. I can't see. Where is it? There it is. There it is. If you're watching on replay, do pop a little hashtag replay in there so that I can see that you've watched. It is really useful to me to see who's watched what. Anyway, I'll get rid of that. Because I know that there are some that lots and lots of people watch, and I think, that's something that people need to know more about. So I'll sort of think about how I can give you more information on certain things if they're really popular and they're watched a lot. I've got some comments. Hi, Alex. Hello. And I've got a Facebook user there. Hello, Facebook user. I'm afraid this end in StreamYard, I can't see who you are. But lovely to have you here. Lovely to have you here. We've got a few people on now. Fabulous, fabulous. Yes, the reason, of course, I posted this on my socials this morning. Did I post it on all my socials or just my Instagram? I can't remember. But it's April the 6th. In fact, I posted it in the group. It's the start of a new tax year today. If that isn't a good enough reason to have a large glass of wine, I don't know what isn't. So we are now in the tax year of 2022 to 2023. And if you're a bit of a geek like me and get updates from the HMRC, you will have woken this morning to half a ton of emails with all the notes and guidances for the new tax year. I had to go through them and go, no, don't need that one, don't need that one, don't need that one, because there's just a whole range of different situations that people need guidance on when it comes to tax. So 6th of April, new tax year. And tomorrow, my task for tomorrow is to go through all my books for last tax year, which ended yesterday, and to get all my totals sorted out, to make sure I've got everything in the right place. And then I'm going to submit my tax return, and I'm going to do it hopefully tomorrow, because I like to get things done early. And the other reason, of course, is that I'm doing some training with the Home Baking Professional Society next week at the end of the festival week, which is open to others. If you join the society, or you can buy the training as a sort of standalone if you want to be involved in that as well. But I'm going to be going through self-assessments, how to register, what the forms look like, all those kind of things. And so I thought I need to do mine first, and then I can get some screenshots and that kind of thing. So that is my job tomorrow, to do that. I shall need lots of biscuits to get me through that. Lots of chocolate buttons. What have I got any in here? Oh, no, I ate them. I ate my stash of buttons. So that's why I know it's April the 6th today. But that's not what I'm here to talk about this evening. Oh, hello, Little Wave. Hello, Facebook user. Hello. This evening, I am going to be talking a little bit about networking. the power of networking. I thought it might be quite useful just to have a little bit of a chat about that. And I've written a blog, as I usually do these days. I've written a blog which is on my website. Hang on, I'll show you my website. It's really difficult to remember my website because it's annybennett.co.uk. And if you go on there, you will find a link to the blog. You'll find a link to all sorts of things on there. You'll find a link to the online festival information as well on there. But I have my little blog and I sort of ruminate and muse on various things. And there's generally a blog to go with the Waffle Wednesday. And there is a one on networking, the power of networking. Hang on, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Good evening, smiley face person. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about networking because I've done a few sort of speaker sessions in other people's Facebook groups over the last couple of months, and a few interviews with people, and about how I set up my business. And one question that I'm often asked is, what's the one piece of advice you would give to someone starting up a business? And what I generally say, I'll say sort of one of two things. I'll say, first of all, there are 3 words that everybody needs to run a business. And those of you that know me know what these words are. And I've got them on the door behind my board there. I always say you need determination, you need resilience, you need perseverance. So if you've got those 3 things, you can do anything. Olympic gold medalists have those 3 things. People like Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, Alan Sugar, all those kind of people had determination, resilience, perseverance. If you've got those, you can achieve anything. So I always say that. But the second thing I always say is, my advice to anyone starting a business is get a network, get connected. Hi, Sarah. New wave. Get connected. Get a group of people around you that get what you do. Even if they don't understand baking, even if they're not bakers, they will understand about running a business, and particularly running a business from home. So if you can get connected with people like that, it will almost transform. Oh, hello, Caitlin. Hello. So when I first started out my business, when I first started my wedding cake business, which was actually almost 8 years ago now, the only people really I spoke to, I mean, I was still teaching at the time, so I did, have people to speak to, but they weren't business people. But the only people I talked to regards my business were either clients and customers, brides and brooms and things, or they were like the venues or other suppliers, or they were people, it was people trying to sell me something, usually advertising in magazines, got a lot of those. Or it was people like on the end of a helpline for something I was trying to set up, or something I needed help with, something specifically, like an email system or something. And those are really the only people I ever connected with about my business. And even though I had, obviously friends and family, and my family were actually very supportive, but they didn't really understand what, about running a business, because none of them are business people. I mean, they have good, good idea about things, but they don't know it from experience. And I know that there are some people, particularly in our big Facebook group, I know that there are people there who have got people at home that are perhaps even actively against what they do. So, if you have a bit of a moan or a bit of I'm not sure what to do about this, the response you'd get would be, well, I told you so. You shouldn't run a business then, should you? Which is really not what you want to hear, is it? You really have to power up your resilience and a notch or two to overcome that kind of thing, don't you? So what I decided was, a few years in, and particularly a couple of years ago when lockdown started, when I found myself completely at sea, was, to try and get involved more in business people so I could learn more and I could, find out more. And that's what I did. So what you need is a group of people that not only sort of get what you do and get that you're trying to run a business and all the problems that entails. So say, even if it's not another baker, someone who runs a business at home will get that, you know, people will try and get you to do things for them because you're only at home. You know, people will understand the trials of trying to run a household when you've got, you know, children running around or husbands doing this, that, and the other, or whatever it is, you know. And it's really useful to have that group of business people. You can bounce ideas off them as well, because often, you know, as a person trading on your own, so a sole trader without, you know, even without any staff around you, you might have a good idea for something and you might think, is that a good idea? I don't know. I haven't got anyone to ask. You know, and often, isn't it, when you bounce ideas off someone else, you get better ideas, or they might suggest something. You think, oh yeah, that's brilliant, I'll go with that. So having that sort of sounding board is invaluable, isn't it? And that's not often something we can get with our friends and family, because say they don't always get what we do. And also you find a really useful group of people. So not only will you be able to bounce ideas off them, but you'll also be able to share things. Finding a group of people that you can trust when you're having a wobble, or you've had a tricky customer, or something's gone a bit awry, or perhaps you've made a mistake. Having a group of people that you can trust to tell them about it is a really, you know, invaluable thing, because the chances are you tell them about it, someone will say, oh yeah, I did that as well. And it makes you feel a whole lot better that you're not the only numpty in the place, you know, because someone else has done that too. And this is what they did about it. Oh yeah, brilliant, I'll do that then, you know. And also it's useful to have a group of people that you can just ask questions of, you know, ask questions to, of whom you can ask questions. You know where I'm going with this. So, I mean, this is what we've got in the home baking business community, isn't it? We've got all this. We've got, you know, people that can give you ideas. We've got, you know, every member in that group is someone that we can trust. And I know that because there have been people that have not shared that ethos, and I just get rid of them. Simple as that. If people are horrid or nasty or sarky or, you know, horrible like that, I just get rid of them. We've got no room for that. So our free Facebook group is a really, really safe place. And I encourage, you know, there's no such thing as a silly question. There really isn't. And, you know, you can ask questions. Does anyone know how I can do this, or where I can buy that? Or does anyone know, I've had this letter through from this company, what response might I have? And I see this all the time in our Facebook group, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. And then over the last 2 years, I'm not only a member of other cake groups, although I must admit I lurk a little bit in there. I help out when I see something that needs help with, but usually I put all my efforts into our group. But I'm also a member of lots of business groups, and I would highly recommend getting connected and getting networking in other business groups. Some on Facebook particularly are better than others. Some I've noticed on Facebook, and I've come out of these ones, where someone asks a question and everyone just says, oh yeah, I've got a course for that, or you know, here are my rates, give me a call. That's not what you want. You want sort of suggestions and help, really. And there are lots of business groups that do that. So, you know, get involved in those. I'm in quite a few groups now, some of which are free, some of which I pay for, some of which I pay moderate significant amounts, actually, because they're so valuable in what they do. And they're not all business people. You know, there are people in there. There are people in there that earn literally millions. There are people in the groups I'm in that are just starting out. There are people who are whose business is business, so they're into, you know, strategy and goal setting and that kind of thing. There are people whose business is websites and tech and all those kind of things. There are people whose business is sales. But similarly, I network with people who do things like yoga or dog training or things that I would never have a need for myself. But we've all got one thing in common, and that is that we run our own businesses. And a lot of the problems and the issues that we have are common across all businesses. No matter what you do, there are common problems and issues and challenges across all of them. And I make it a point to really listen and, you know, soak up anything that, you know, anything from, you know, from other experienced people, because it's just so valuable. And the other thing I've learned to do, I mean, when I first started my business, and I'm sure that some of you will resonate with this. When you first start up a business, you sort of feel like that little sort of school child on the playground who's sort of coming with a big packed lunch, and they're, you know, and they don't know anyone in the playground, and they just stood there thinking, oh, where do I go? What do I do? I've no idea what I'm doing. I remember being 4 and stood on the school path thinking, I don't know where to go. that feeling has stayed with me. It's rather weird, really. So we all sort of start off a bit like that. And I did lurk in groups for a bit, just sort of watching and listening, and, you know, but after a while I thought, if I'm going to get anything out of this, I've got to make myself a bit more known, not so that I can make more sales, but so that if people can get to know me and what I do, they'll have a more of an understanding of what I do, and they can help me more. So, you know, I started not necessarily putting in posts, but someone would put in a post about something. And even if I'd put in something like, oh, yes, I completely understand this problem, it would help. Even if I didn't have an answer, it would still be that element of support, that sort of, I hear you, I get this. And that in itself can be really valuable to somebody. I'm sure you've all been in Facebook groups where you've posted something and not one person puts a comment. And that feeling is like really deflating, isn't it? I try not to let that happen in the home baking business community. I try to scroll through, and if I see anything that's not been answered, I try and at least put something if I can, although Facebook doesn't show me everything, unfortunately. But that feeling that you're not alone, that, you know, there are people there that will listen and help if necessary, and, you know, or just say, yeah, I'm with you on that one, I know exactly what you mean. It's really, really useful. So yeah, I would start sort of getting involved with things and getting known for things. And I suppose it could be said that I'm a fairly confident person. I was a head teacher, but then there was a period in my life when I started up my business that I wasn't that confident. Things had happened, and, you know, my confidence was shot. My self-esteem was very low. And there was that sort of, oh, I can't do anything, I'm no good at anything, that kind of thing sort of reared its ugly head. But now I'm sort of back to the old Annie, really. And I've got the confidence to go into a group and, you know, and offer business advice, because I've been running my business now for a couple of years. So I have got things to offer to other people, you know, in terms of, you know, things that I use or people that I know or whatever. So I have got things to offer, and anyone that runs a business, however long they've been doing it, has got something to offer other people. So even if you're just starting up, you can offer, you know, reassurance and support, and I hear you. If you've only just registered and only just started, you are then in an excellent position to support those people that haven't quite done that yet, because you've only just done it yourself. So you've got recent experience of that. So do you see where I'm going with this? You can offer things, and the more you offer yourself and offer advice and offer help and offer support, the more you will get it back. Believe me, the amount of people that I could go to business people, and I'm talking all around the world here. If I had a problem with something, hello, Facebook user. If I had an issue with something or a problem in my business, I've got a whole handful of people that I could go to and say, what would you do here? Or what would you suggest here? And a lot of them would answer me straight back, oh, Annie, yeah, let's have a look at this. What do you think? Or they'd ask pertinent questions to help me work it out myself, you know. And of course, the other brilliant thing about connecting, you know, getting to know other people, and getting to know people, not just in Facebook groups, but also on social media as well. And I'm talking particularly because these are what I use, Facebook and Instagram. I know a lot of business people use LinkedIn. I tend not to use that because I've got enough to do with the ones that I am involved in. But, you know, the power of connecting on Facebook and Instagram, you know, find someone that you follow, that you think, I really love what they do. Tell them, put comments in. I love how you do this. Ask them questions. How do you know, you might find that a lot of them don't answer, perhaps because they've got loads of followers and they get loads of questions. But you'll find that there are quite a few that will just love having comments and questions, and will respond and connect with you, and they'll get to know you. And through doing that, you might then get to know some of their other followers and other people that, you know, have similar things in common. And that in itself will grow your following. You know, people often say, and in the group, how do I, you know, increase my number of followers? Well, you do that by actually going in and being active in there and engaging in there. Just having, you know, the number 1,000 followers means nothing if those people don't talk and communicate and engage in what you do. You know, if you've got 100 people that are always chatting, always putting comments up, always engaging, liking, all those kind of things, they are worth 1,000,000 times more than 1,000 followers that never do anything, because they're useless. Followers that don't ever engage, they're pointless. It's fairly common knowledge in the business world, that. So, you know, if you've got followers that don't engage, they're useless. So get engaging in there, get talking to people. Yeah, I mean, you might find that you come across people that aren't your people, in which case you can, you know, leave them and gravitate towards people that are. You know, it's like going into into a supermarket and there's loads and loads of things on the shelf, but eventually you'll find exactly what it is you're looking for. You know, and that's what it is with the social media. So yeah, so the art of connecting and networking is really, really important. And in my blog, which I've been sort of taking notes from as you go along, have you noticed I've been sort of reading? I've sort of summed it up at the end. So what we have, find a group of like-minded business owners that I put do what you do, but it's perhaps more important that they know about what you do and understand what you do. Okay. And I think it's really important to grow your connections outside of just baking. If all the people I ever connected with were bakers, I'd have a very blinkered view of how things work. And because I have so many, you know, business connections that are not bakers, I see and I'm inspired by things all the time, because the cake making world can be quite narrow. You know, you have a couple of trends that go on, and that's what everyone is talking about all the time. Which is not, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. But at the moment, everyone's talking about bro nuts, aren't they? Which just look amazing. But if all you ever did was connect with cake people, you'd think that bro nuts were the be all and end all. And if you don't do them, your business will fail. There's sort of that kind of, almost that kind of vibe. Whereas if you have a wider connection, you'll see there are all sorts of other possibilities out there that you can tap into, you know. So find business people that you can connect with. Okay. Connect with other businesses on social media. Don't just follow them. Follow what they do, engage with them, ask them questions, talk to other people that are on their, on their feeds and are talking to them. So talk to people within those, if you see something that's really interesting, or someone has asked a question or answered a question in a really interesting way, go, oh, that's amazing, I didn't think of that. Even something like that, can start to produce connections for you. So that's the second one. So third sum up, don't be afraid to offer support, even if you don't have any advice. So even if you just say something, words to the equivalent of, I hear you, I get this, that can be a real support to people, particularly people that are just starting up. That is so invaluable, that there are people, actually, they get what I'm doing here and they get my problem. And it can make a huge difference to people. And if you make a huge difference to somebody, then they will make a huge difference to you. It's very reciprocal, that kind of thing. Fourthly, get known. Let people know who you are and what you do. You will get more responses to your own inquiries if you have been active in whichever group it is you're in, and helped other people or supported other people. Okay. I mean, I lurk in some Facebook groups, and I wouldn't feel comfortable posting in them because I don't feel that anyone in that group knows who I am. But there are other Facebook groups, in some memberships that I'm in, that know me really well. I have no problem with posting in those because I know that there'll be half a ton of people that will come back with either suggestions or thumbs up or whatever it is. Okay, so get people to know you and what you do. And that way you can, make more connections on your Instagram and your Facebook, get more followers, follow more people, all that kind of thing follows from that as well. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Use the experience and the wisdom backup that these connections can offer. So there is just a wealth of business knowledge out there, and a whole load of people that are willing to share what they do and offer advice on what they do. So ask the questions and find the answers. Yeah. If you're having a problem with something, don't just sit and moan about it. Go and actively find an answer to it. Ask. People will help. Sometimes you might get not very good advice, but on the whole, you'll get a whole group of people that really want to help you out. And of course, the other thing is that I found, now that I've got lots of connections and I start making more connections and I tell people what I do, by the way, do you have what's known as an elevator pitch? If you met someone new and they said, what do you do? Would you be able to tell them in a couple of sentences? Interesting one to think about that. But when I tell people, I'm a business owner and I make wedding cakes and I help people start up home baking businesses, there's been a couple of times when they say, oh, I know someone that would really benefit from being in your group. What's your group? And they know people that would benefit from what I do. And I know people that benefit from what they, so there's all that connection there. And you can, get to know new people and get recommendations for things. There are some groups that I'm in. I talk about, my wedding cakes, or I talk about, my home baking courses and my membership. And if anyone else in that group asks a question about home baking businesses, a lot of people say, oh yeah, Annie will know that. And they'll tag me in. Annie, can you answer this question? Because I'm known for what I do now in some of those groups, particularly the ones I don't lurk in. Oh dear, we can't be active in all the groups all the time. Blimey, we'd never have a life, would we? So, oh, hang on. My comments are freezing up there. So really, that's the sort of the the overall thing of it is to be successful in business. Don't be afraid to share your knowledge. No one's going to take your knowledge and then get a better business than you and steal your customers. Just doesn't work that way at all. Because at the end of the day, people buy from people. Your customers buy from you because your products are good, but they also like you and they know you. Yeah. If you can, you create loyalty in your business because what you do is good and your customers love what you do. So sharing your knowledge about your business isn't going to make those customers go to the person that you shared your knowledge with, is it? There's all sorts of people out there, all sorts of customers out there, and there's so many to go around. So I think the more we understand that, the better we are as business people, because that's what we are. And think of yourself as a business person. Don't think of yourself as a baker, even though you are. Think of yourself as a business owner. I often say that. If you have a problem with a customer or an issue, think of it in terms of what would a business owner do, and then you do it from the head, from your business point of view. I've got to do this for my business, rather than it's me personally having to deal with an issue, and doing it from the heart. Anyway, I digress. I'm waffling now. I'm going in all sorts of directions here. So yes, so network. So our group is brilliant for all sorts of support. You ask a question in there and the chances are that people will come back to you. And if you don't get an answer, there's various reasons for that. A, the Facebook algorithm's a bit rubbish sometimes. B, if you post, I seem to think that when I look at posts that haven't been answered, they've perhaps been posted sort of in the afternoon. So by the time people have sort of finished what they're doing and they sit down in the evening, that post has gone up the scroll and it's disappeared. So think about the time of day that you post. That sometimes can help. And also, if you want to post in the group and be seen, get me to answer it, for example, just tag me and I will see it and I will help you out. So there's ways around the algorithm. We can get round this fiendish old algorithm. We can win. So there we go. And of course, I can't talk about networking without mentioning my old festival that's going on next week. Hopefully you've seen about it. I've posted the heck out of it on my social media and in the home baking business community. So if you haven't seen anything about it, I've really not done my job properly. There are all sorts more posts coming up. So it's next week. It starts Monday 10 a.m. and we've got a whole load of speakers coming into the group to talk to us about a whole range of topics, a lot of which, whatever type of baking you do, will be useful to you. So we've got Elizabeth's coming in to talk about selling to cafes and opening your own premises. We've got Christine who's coming in to talk about insurance. What kind of insurance do you need? And answering insurance questions. We've got Nicola. We just added Nicola last week. Nicola made an awful lot of money, and we're talking 6 figures a year, by selling her baked goods nationally. So she knows about how to deliver nationally. So if you're dealing in postal goods and delivering, watch that one, because that's going to be a really good one. I mean, they're all going to be really good, but that will be really useful to you. We've got Yvonne coming in to talk about visibility, getting yourself seen online. What else have we got on the Tuesday? The Tuesday we've got Leslie coming in to talk about money, relationship with money. And she's really good at talking about not just how to make money or, expenses and income. It's not that type of session. It's more, how your attitude about money. and how you can make that really good to get your business really successful. Oh gosh, who else have we got? We've got Shelley coming in, my friend Shelley, who's a really good business strategist, who's coming in to talk about something called time blocking, which is how you can organize your diary to, you know, free up lots of hours in your day. We've got, oh gosh, I hope I don't forget anyone. Hang on, where's my thing? I mustn't forget anyone here. I feel very guilty if I forget anyone. We've got Helen coming in. Now, Helen is a riot. You'll love Helen. Helen has got an Instagram called The Complaining Cow. And Helen is an expert in like customer services. So she helps people, you know, if they've had a bad experience like in a shop or with a company, she'll help them. She'll know what they need to do to put it right. So she's really good at, you know, talking about feedback, how you as a business can get your customers on your side and get good feedback from them and get good reviews. So that's going to be Helen. I think she's speaking on the Thursday. Who was? Oh, we've got Jenna. That's the other one on Tuesday. Jenna's talking about blogging and how blogging can really help boost your business. So that's a really good one. I'm really looking forward to that because I do some blogging. But I've just sort of done it sort of with a prayer and a wish. So I'm really looking forward to getting some tips from her. Who else have we got? Oh, Victoria, my lovely friend Victoria. She's going to talk about copywriting, writing copy, not to be confused with copyright, as in, you know, not stealing Disney's ideas. This is writing copy. So writing the actual words that you use in an advert or on your social media. So she's going to talk about that, which is brilliant. You know, making your post really engaging, particularly if you're launching a new product. So that's what she's going to talk about. I think that's all of them looking at my little list. Oh, and then of course I'm going to do some demos as well. So hooray. I'm going to do a demo on how to get smooth buttercream, because I know lots of people ask about that. How to get sharp edges on fondant. So I'll do something on that. And I'm also going to do about lettering, how to get really nice lettering on your cakes as well. So those are dotted about the week. Now, if you want to find out, hang on, a little bit more. The link, if you go to my website, well, if you go to the homepage of my website, it's there emblazoned and you click on that and you'll get to the page. But it's the Home Baking Business Online Festival. There's also loads of posts about it in the Home Baking Business community in the Facebook group. If you go into there, you'll find all the information, you'll find the speakers, you'll find the timetables. But if you sign up, I'll also send you emails that remind you when these sessions are happening, which I find personally really useful if I sign up for something, because, you know, you get involved with something and you realize, oh, it started half an hour ago and I've missed it, kind of thing. So if you sign up, I will email you reminders to make sure that you don't miss it. You will get 24-hour access to all the sessions. So you'll be able to watch them back for 24 hours. Unless you're a member of the society, in which case you will have unlimited access. I will put them on the members page and you'll be able to watch them whenever you like for an unlimited period, as long as you're a member. Okay. And all the details of how to become a member of the society so you can have unlimited access, that's all in that link there as well, that link there. And the other thing, of course, is there's a giveaway. There's a prize giveaway. I'm giving away, hang on. I love giving away things. I'm a little bit of a giveawayer. I'm one of these people that at Christmas, I much prefer to watch people unwrap things that I've bought than actually getting the presents myself. My daughters like it too. We love just giving things and seeing people be happy. But the merchandise package involves a mug. You don't get my mug unless you particularly want my mug, but you probably want a mug with your logo on it. And if you haven't got a business logo yet, you can have anything on there if you like, or you can wait until you've got a logo, whatever. But you'll get a mug, you'll get a bag, a little tote bag thing, which is quite useful. And also you get an apron. Now, which baker doesn't want a nice apron? With your name or logo or both or either. And the aprons come in lots of different colours as well. So you can choose a different colour. So one lucky winner that enters the giveaway will win all those 3 things. And to enter the giveaway, go to this link here and you will see how you can enter the giveaway. There we are. So there we go. So there's a whistle-stop tour of the online festival next week. I dare say I'll be in the group a little bit to talk a bit more about it, because I want people to benefit from it. I've got all these fabulous, fabulous people coming in. And so I want as many people as possible to benefit from it and to listen to these wonderful people, because it will really benefit. I've said benefit too much now, haven't I? Ah, dear. Righty-ho. Okay, it's 8:10. I've waffled on for far too long. I will let you go now. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for commenting, those that have commented and waved and things and smiley faces. I do appreciate it. So do look out. If you've not seen anything about the festival, do look out. There'll be things being posted. There's emails going out, all sorts of things. But it will start next Monday morning. So unless I see you before then, I will see you on Monday morning, 10 a.m. with our first speaker. And I really, really look forward to it. So have a lovely weekend. Have a lovely week till then. Have a lovely weekend. And hopefully I will see you all on Monday morning. All right, folks. Oh, are there any business groups I would recommend? Yes, I will pop some links in the big group. Okay. Possibly tomorrow. I might not do that tonight because I haven't had my dinner yet. But yes, I will pop some links on groups that I'm in that you can access. Okay. It is very important to talk to other businesses. Yeah, absolutely. So it's the one piece of advice I'd give to somebody starting up a business. Get to know other people. Righty-ho. I will see you. Have a good weekend. And I will see you on Monday, folks. All right. Toodaloo.